Here with me is Crowdstrike CEO and founder George Kurtz. George, good to see you.
Great to be here.
It's been a while. Thanks for coming on here. Look, every conversation I've had here at this conference over the past day, AI and agents. How are agents impacting what you do in cybersecurity?
Well, if we think about AI and we believe it's the next industrial revolution, you have to have security. And this is something I've said for a long time, is that security parallels the slope of the technology innovation curve. So with all these AI agents, essentially what are they? They're superhumans, right? They have access to data, they have access to compute, they have access to workflows, and they have access to systems outside the corporate network. All of that needs security. And that's what Crowdstrike does. Not only have we protected the humans and their systems for over 14 years, but now protecting all these AI agents and the proliferation of these agents as they cross the corporate network as well as external boundaries. So it's a massive opportunity, and certainly they're going to need security and compliance.
Opportunity for Crowdstrike, but it has to be almost terrifying for enterprise companies. They've unleashed agents inside their operations. I mean, they're trying to grow their business, but still, wow, I mean, there could be some real risks here.
I think there's opportunities, but there's real risks. It's almost like giving full access to an intern and letting them run wild, right? Most people wouldn't do that, right? So you got to put guardrails around them. They can be very productive. And really where the industry is going, I think just in general with AI, is that the humans will manage a fleet of AI agents doing whatever task they're designed to do, but you're going to have to instrument them, right? If something goes awry, you're going to have to be able to roll it back and figure out what actually happened, so you need visibility. And you're going to need data protection, because we've seen so many times where these models are giving up information, prompt injection, which will allow the attacker to get information they shouldn't have.
Last time we heard from Crowdstrike a couple weeks ago, reported earnings, the guidance was in focus. The street didn't seem to like it, but I'm listening to you now. Has your business accelerated?
It has accelerated. And the thing is, when you look at the guidance, which was in line with what we talked about, there's still some impact to partner rebates, which we talked about happened this year, right? So
is that from the outage?
That's from the outage, yeah. So essentially what we had to do is we had to compensate partners for some of the free products we gave away. Well, that's actually a contra revenue line item. It's just an accounting function. You actually have to deduct it from revenue. So it's more of an artifact of an accounting deduction as a contra item than anything else. You have to look at the net new ARR, which reaccelerated this quarter, 221, record for Q2. And then our CFO talked about 40% acceleration in the back half of the year. That's the most important number.
Now that these credits have rolled off, are customers staying with Crowdstrike?
Absolutely, 97% retention. They roll off in the back half of the year. So I think we've done a good job with that. We've strengthened our customer relationships. And at the end of the day, people love our technology, they love our platform, and we're solving a really hard problem for them, which is stopping the breach.
You said one thing in your earnings call that frankly scared the hell out of me, and I wanted to bring it to light. You said adversaries are democratizing destruction at mass scale.
Yeah.
Explain that to us.
Well, the way we look at adversaries, just in a simple way to visualize it, is a pyramid. Okay, and the top of the pyramid is very sophisticated, and the bottom of the pyramid is less sophisticated. So top of the pyramid, nation state, middle of the pyramid, e-crime, bottom of the pyramid is hacktivism, right? So top, highly sophisticated, bottom, little less. So when we think about that and we look at AI, AI is minting more adversaries, and they can be less sophisticated. I mean, think about what happens today. If you take any of the technologies, you can turn anyone who can use PowerPoint into a programmer, essentially, right? So if you look at what's happening in the AI world, you're now using AI to create more adversaries with higher level of sophistication that only the top part of that pyramid had. In fact, we've actually identified and found malware that uses any of the number of public GPTs to actually query, figure out what system it's on, figure out what it's doing, and then write scripts to actually go out and pull data back based upon each system it's on. So each system is unique based upon the results and instructions it gets back from the GPTs.
What countries are proliferating this type of technology or trying to attack us?
Well, certainly you have the big ones that are out there. You've got China, you got North Korea, you have Russia, and others that are out there. But there's so many countries that have nation-state capabilities that are very, very effective, that not only are they gathering information for intelligence purposes, but they're also stealing IP, like China is one of the big offenders.
Is AI then really good for companies? I'm just listening to these risks, and I get the benefits, but wow.
I think it is, because you have to think about AI. So something at Crowdstrike we focused on was using AI for security. When I started the company, it was machine learning, but that was the basis of the company. Now you have also securing AI, right? So one is AI for security, and the other one is securing AI. So when we think about how we're leveraging AI, something like Charlotte was up 85% quarter over quarter, and that is our technology that essentially allows a SOC analyst to have an automated a partner, if you will, right? They can do a lot of the alert triage, a lot of the heavy lifting of identifying and figuring out like these small little nuances of, there's an indicator here or there, can put that whole picture together, and something that might take days of research can be done in an hour. It can write a report. It has all the latest and greatest intelligence of CrowdStrike. So you have to leverage Gen AI to be able to identify and contain these attacks as quickly as possible.
Can the cybersecurity stay one step or several steps ahead of these bad actors?
I think we can, and it's really the power of the data and the power of the crowd. Part of the crowd and the CrowdStrike is the crowdsourced element of it. And when you look at what we've done with things like Falcon Complete, which is our managed detection response service, or our intelligence group, we're at the forefront of all these attacks. So, and we've annotated all these attacks and helped identify and prevent these for the last 10 years in production. And that has really become the Reddit of security data. Think about it. What powers these LLMs? Kind of like Reddit, right? You need the right information. So we know the attack path, we know the tradecraft. These have all been identified, curated, and labeled, and this is the basis for Charlotte, and this is why we've got such good efficacy.
Another theme here on the ground at this conference that I've picked up on is this the war for top AI talent. It's a thing, and it's becoming even costlier to get the talent you need. What has been like battling for talent out there?
It's a battle, for sure. When you look at all of the top companies and what people are paying and how people are being recruited, it's a battle. We've got, I think, a fantastic data science team, and a lot of times what we found, pay is very important, of course, right? But it's the mission that we're on, right? I always say we don't have a mission statement, we're on a mission, right? It's good versus bad, it's the oldest story of time, right? And we have people that are focused on the mission of stopping the bad guys and doing harm to our customers, and that means a lot.
As someone that has seen a lot of cycles, I mean, you founded CrowdStrike, is what we're paying, or what companies paying for AI talent, is that indicative of an AI bubble like Sam Altman talks about?
It can be a bit crazy. I think when you look at any of these cycles, there's always, the hype cycle and then sort of the reality and things settle down. So we're probably in the hype cycle before we get to the trough of disillusionment, right? But that being said, there's so much good that's coming out of it. And I think whether you're using it internally to drive efficiencies or whether you're using a fleet of AI agents that have to be protected, there's opportunities and benefits, I think, long-term for the entire industry and the planet. So it's just getting through, like most things, they get hyped up, companies shake out, there's too many of them, and then you get down to the big winners, and I think we'll see that over time.
And real quick, we still welcome interns. Interns are fine, right? They're okay.
Interns are fine, but you wouldn't let them run loose in your network with admin access, right?
Fair enough. I just wanted to clear that up. Yeah, we dig interns. I used to be an intern.
That's kind of what an AI agent is, and that's why you need the guardrails around it.